Yo, what up, y'all? It's your boy. I'm back, Brother Phil, Soul of an Earth. Let me speak up a little bit here and turn my music down. I'm fresh out of seeing Marvel Studios Thunderbolts. So I'm gonna give you no spoilers, brief reaction, thoughts on the movie, a little bit of a yay or nay type thing, and I'll give you some, again, general thoughts about it. Overall, this was a good movie. Let me start by, the thing about the MCU is it's a franchise, all of the movies, and then there's franchises within the franchise. So it's, as a cinematic universe, Marvel phase 5 or 6 or whatever the heck we're in, which I believe it's 5. My video I made earlier, I said it was 6. I think Fantastic Four starts phase 6, if I'm not mistaken. So this was the last movie of phase 5. And so yeah, phase 5, you got to compare one movie to the next because it's a franchise. So going back to Captain America Brave New World into this one, definite improvement, but not by a lot. Here's the thing, this movie's not like a return to greatness. It's not, but it is so much more of a step in the right direction than Falcon. I keep calling him Falcon, probably because he's just Falcon to me, but more so than Captain America Brave New World. What I liked about the movie, good storyline as far as how these people came together and why and what's going on. That worked for me. It is a good kind of fill-in storyline while they're really, we last saw the Avengers. They don't really exist. I mean, this is kind of what I suspected the movie was going to be, like, who's going to fill in the blanks of the Avengers. That's not how it starts out, though. But it's like seeing this team come together kind of reminded you, or it's not like a spoiler to think this is a team that's going to come together by the end of the movie. All the characters that were in this movie were used pretty well, actually. Excuse me. Ugh. They were used pretty well, actually. And then particularly Yelena and Red Guardian and John Walker, actually. I mean, if anything, I was a little disappointed in the use of Bucky, but I think Bucky doesn't need a whole lot of you know what I mean? We love him. He doesn't have to do much, and I think that was the smart move in trying to build these other characters up to his established place, in the MCU already. So that made sense. I'll say this, Sentry. See, with me not knowing much about the comic book character, I mean, in a way, I wasn't all that impressed. But on the other hand, I think they're gonna use him more. So he was used well, but with me having no expectations, like, generally speaking, if I didn't have this thought in my mind to say, well, there's probably gonna be more to come from him, I would have thought, oh, come on, y'all. I mean, that was a little bit of a anticlimactic character. So, you know what I mean? So see it for yourself, and you'll probably agree with me. I think there's more to come from him. So So for now, yeah, good establishment of the character. I'll say that. Very good establishment of the character. I'll say this, and this is a good thing. It took me a long time in this movie to have a good, actual, humorous, comical laugh. There were some chuckles, and this was good. This to me was a good sense that it was a little bit of a throwback to early MCU. When we look back, the first Iron Man, Incredible Hulk, Captain America, the first Avenger, hell, Thor, that Phase 1 movies, it wasn't this cackle laugh stuff, you know. In this movie reminded me of that. As I said in my preview, that I expected this movie to kind of give me what Falcon and Winter what Captain America 4 should have, and that was definitely a more intense, dramatic, more depth movie. Like Captain America 4, they had some early moments early in the movie trying to be funny that were okay. And like they weren't bad, but you know, it's like anytime if a joke ain't landing, it's like that's not a good thing. Whereas this one, they weren't even really trying to be funny. They just had those moments of lightness, so to speak, that made sense for the characters that it was coming from, and you kind of smiled at it and chuckled, and then later on there was some good laughable moments, but nothing in it that was real comical. So this is a pretty serious movie, probably like in tune with Captain America Winter Soldier, and Civil War probably has more humorous moments than this one, but it reminds me of Civil War in the sense that the moments that like are jokes, they just are good character moments that'll make you laugh a little bit. Not the most action, but the action is used well in the right moments. In the action sequences are pretty dope. Well, no, this will go into spoiler territory, so I can't say this. This is a good movie. It's a good movie. Go see it. I'm gonna go see it again. That's how good it was. I didn't have that much desire to see Captain America Brave New World again as much as I do on this one. So yeah, I like the cast. I like the villain, so to speak, or antagonist concept of the movie. I like how it tied some other things together. Like, it made references to Brave New World. It made references to, in a way, Endgame. It made references to the Avengers movie of 2012. So it's MCU related from the past and present. Post-credit scenes, stay for those. One of them's pretty funny. The second one is like, yo, it took me back to some seeing Thor's Mjolnir at the end of Iron Man 2, or seeing Thanos at the end of Avengers Age of Ultron, or seeing Wanda and Pietro at the end of Captain America Winter Soldier. So in other words, yeah, there's some hint at characters to come at the end. There's some tying it in, and I love that. Best post-credit scene to give you some adrenaline in a while. So I'm looking forward to Fantastic Four and Doomsday based off of this movie now. And I'm gonna just say that. So go see this movie. I liked it. It wasn't great, but it was good. It was good. And I think if I watch it again, I could raise that up, because it actually, as I said in my preview, that I've heard is deeper than you would expect it to be, and it is. It's actually pretty well done in terms of a underlying theme of the movie that probably should be when you bring these characters together, and they don't overdo it. It's just well done. The plot and pacing of the movie, it moves pretty fast, which it feels like MCU is doing that now. Like they don't really waste a lot of time, but I mean they're getting their footing back on having good pacing while telling a good story without like jumping around and glossing over things. So I don't think they did that. It moved pretty fast. It's sometimes faster than I wanted it to, but in all, it was well done and told well, and they got to the point. You know what I'm saying? So, and it concluded well too. To be honest, so it was good resolution, but yet on to the next thing. Again, it sets up some things for the future pretty well, so I liked it in that regard. Like I said, performances were good. No cheesy dialogue, which is such a plus, because there's cheesy dialogue in Ant-Man 3. There was cheesy dialogue for sure in Thor Love and Thunder, and there was some cheesy dialogue in Captain America 4. But I got optimism for the MCU going forward now. And Captain America 4 played a part in that. I mean, Deadpool and Wolverine to me is an outlier. Guardians 3 was phenomenal, but I mean, to me that's done. So you can't really read too much off of that. So the MCU with characters that are gonna move forward, this is a pretty good job done for some B and C list characters. It got me more interested in seeing more of them, but I do have a thing to say about it that ain't, I got a little bit of a gripe with it, but I won't do that because I will just really spoil it. All right. So, yeah, that's it. Peace. See y'all again. I'll do a spoiler review at some point, and let's go. MCU's back, baby. I mean, they never left, but some good things to come, I believe. Peace.